Today, I want to talk about how I use astrology in my coaching, and maybe you can use it in your work as well. Hi, I'm Maria Solis Paz, and I am a coach, life coach, business coach, and astrologer. And I use astrology in so many different ways that I thought I would share. So, see if you can maybe find some use for this as well in your work or your practice. Okay. First thing is astrology and purpose. I think this was the original thing that people wanted to work with me in both my coaching and astrology sessions is what is my purpose? Help me find my purpose. I don't think we as human beings do well when we don't have meaning, purpose, and all the things that our soul is craving. And so astrology is particularly good at helping you dig into what that is. Of course, it's going to give you particular points like the nodes. Your south and north node will tell you specifically some aspect of your purpose, and there are other points in the chart that will help you with that. I think most of the time when people ask about purpose, they're not just asking about the mission that they want to accomplish here on this planet, here on Earth at this time. Why was I born? It's partly that, but a portion of those people want to use it in their career. And so this is the second place where I use astrology in my coaching business is astrology for career. Astrology for career is like help me figure out what is the ideal career for me. I'm in a career transition. I am not feeling like the thing that I wanted to do, the thing that I'm doing right now is the thing that I actually wanted to do, right? Or maybe it's a misalignment, doesn't really fit. I'm tired of this. Usually around the 37 years old during the nodal, second nodal return around your 42 year, which is your Uranus opposition, when we're asked to be really, really authentic, or maybe around your 50th year, where it's your Chiron return. These points, typically your midlife crisis, is not a crisis at all. It is actually your design asking you to step into the most authentic time expenditure focus because we spend a ton of time in our careers, in our work. And if you're going to spend a ton of time on something, it might as well be the thing that your soul is most adept at doing, has the most strengths for, because it planned for it this way. Okay, and so astrology for career is the second one. The third one is astrology for healing your soul. There are many places in the chart where we can find, Chiron being one, but there are many other ones, where we can find your most existential wound, the thing that maybe wounded you when you were a child, the thing that you came here to work on in terms of wounding, the places where you have probably more subconscious reprogramming to do, that kind of thing is for healing the soul, not necessarily healing the body, even though that was my next one, astrology for health. You can definitely look at certain parts in your chart, like the sixth house, which is the house of health, and you can see sort of the things that are in there. Are there certain planets or certain transits or certain situations, certain elements, factors? We don't call them elements because in astrology, elements mean something in particular. Certain factors that are in there that are gonna either be challenging for me and my health or that I really need to look out for that will help with preventative medicine, that are maybe practices that are best suited for me and my particular design in order for me to be in my optimal well-being. Okay. The next one is astrology for parents. This is one of the earliest things that I started to do when I was doing astrology early in my 20s. I started with astrology when I was 15 years old, doing my first charts. And astrology for parents was a fantastic thing for me to do because parents would come and say, "Hey, listen, I really want to understand my child. I want my child to to really nurture my child on their purpose." To this day, in the playlist that I have in my other channel in Spanish, let me know if you want me to do the same playlist here in the English channel. I have a playlist called Heal Your Inner Child, and it's according to your moon. And this is because your moons tell you about your needs. And so a lot of moms in there leave comments saying, "Hey, listen, my child is a moon in Libra. What can I do to nurture their needs, their moon?" And it's more than one comment like that. In fact, I even did a whole Q&A answering the many questions we got on those playlists because there's a ton of stuff that parents really, really want to understand about their children. And what a better way than to look at their soul design and to say, okay, this is kind of their nature. Recently had also a mom who was like, okay, how do I deal with certain things where, my child might be, the really strong personality? Is that, a thing that I need to correct, or is that a thing that is natural to them? And I'll tell you, children who are, Moon and Leos, Moon and Aries, those are very strong personalities. Those are personalities that really need to either be witnessed, be boss, be leaders. As a child, how do you nurture that without feeling threatened as a parent, without feeling like as a parent you're not doing the right job? So understanding your child's chart is a fantastic way to, one, take the burden off as a parent that you're not doing things right. Which parents, let me tell you, all the parents are always feeling, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing the right thing, I'm doing something wrong. And to be able to help parents that way, to see, listen, you're right along the path right here, because we can compare both the mother and the child, or the dad and the child, charts, and to really look at how you can really empower that kiddo with your own energy as well. It's a beautiful thing to witness and to help parents honor for that little soul. So astrology for parents, wonderful stuff. Astrology for love, of course, for relationships, for couples. Again, we're looking at two charts and we're seeing where are the compatibilities? I have literally saved the marriages with this stuff. Okay. I remember I was coaching a client of mine, and, he was having a really hard time. It's actually a client that didn't come to me for this. It was a long-term coaching client coming to me for things that had to do with purpose and with, reinvention, past midlife, and other things, and healing. But the thing is that the relationship with his partner was not in the right place at all. And so it was fantastic to help them understand each other through their charts and the different things. This is your essence, these are your needs when you're at home. This is how you love in different ways and how you receive love in different ways. This is, who you're showing as a first response that you are, but really at the core of who you are is somebody more like this. Or when you do things, this is how you do it. This is what triggers your attraction. This is what does it. This is what kills it. Things like that, or your style of communication. Fantastic tool for self-understanding in a partnership. And this is not just relationship for love. This is also relationship and partnership in work or business, which brings me to, of course, astrology for business. I coached a ton of people on launching businesses, on sustaining businesses, on scaling businesses, because it's not about the expertise in the business, even though, of course, you can have coaching for that particular thing. But really, my expertise is in helping you achieve your goals and the goals that are truest to your soul. And of course, all the links to apply for that, to do your astrology session where we can look at your map. And look at your design, and we can see exactly all of these things for any of these areas of your life. A single coaching session as well, where we can coach you to really dig deep and see many of the things that are blocking you. If you want to just, all you need is to just move into a different mental space, or get out of a block, or get unstuck, and there's just one thing that you need to do, we can do that. Or, of course, my long-term coaching programs for life and for business, where I will coach you all the way through a transformation, all the way through a project. All those links are down in the description. For business, astrology for business is fantastic for step one. Okay. Well, actually, for the whole thing, but step one is what I see in a ton of clients that I have coached. And it's like, okay, I know I want to do a business, but what business is best for me? What is the best niche? What is the best client avatar for me to work with? How am I, this was a really important one. How am I best suited to carry out the routine of business? Some people are really good at doing intense work and then pause and rest and recovery. Other people are more paced and they like to build like this, very Capricornian, Mars at Capricorn. Okay, other people are built in a, neurodivergent way. We can look at some of those things too in the chart. I have worked with people who are neurodivergent, ADHD, who I myself am a highly sensitive person, HSP. And so we have different ways in which we work. Some of those things show up in the chart, and it's fantastic when you are able to just align all the necessary elements of a business, like your niche, your avatar, your way of doing things, delivery methods, the kind of things that you want to deliver in the business, the types of services that offers all this stuff, with what your actual design really thrives on. Okay. Human design is also great for this. Remember, human design is based on astrology. Uh, Astrology is actually the purest way for you to look at this. Okay. So business, many, 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 many applications. And of course, um, timing, launches, timing, different things, seeing the cycles of certain things, the best moments for you to do certain stuff, looking at that in your chart is a whole other thing. And it's fascinating. And it brings me to astrology for investment, which is a whole art in itself. And actually, financial astrology is a whole thing, investment astrology is a whole thing. But if you just want to look at, what type of investor you are, best would be best at, are you long-term investor? Are you more of a short-term investor? Are you, better in investing in real estate? Would it be better for you to do options, day trading, what it might be? You can definitely see that in a chart. So it's a fascinating thing to also observe and to really research and to investigate. There was someone who I coached on this, and he was really going to be fantastic at crypto investment. And someone who clearly was not going to be, didn't have the type of natural personality for that type of investment. And that was an interesting thing to point out because you then see it long term and how it pans out if they, decide to go that route or not decide to go that route. Of course, everybody has free will and you're to do whatever it is that you are meant to do and you want to do. Your heart's going to guide you. Your intuition's going to guide you. That is the biggest thing. And after all, astrology is an intuitive art. It's a science in that we get to interpret the aspects, all the things. It's very, very specific. It's very mathematical, geometric, fractal, etc. in the collective unconscious for a very, very long time, etc. But it's also an art. And so intuitively, you're looking at this information and intuitively is how you have to respond. If the information feels true to you, then you make those decisions. And that's, I think, how it works also for investment. Okay. The other thing is, of course, just looking at finances and money, astrology for money and finances. There are specific places in your chart where we can look and we can see, what are some of the maybe challenges? Is there issue with the worthiness, with the value? All those things are second house as well as money. What is maybe the best, most likely way that you are supposed to come on this planet to make that money? Is it in a business way, independently? Are you better at partnership for this? Does partnership maybe suit you better in order to make money? Are you an innovative person in order to make money? Are you more conventional? What are some of these things that are going to help you tap into the thing that's going to make you the most prosperity, the most abundance? What's the easiest way for you to carry that out? We can definitely look at that, money and finances, and also what are the challenges? Are you do you have some positions in your chart that are maybe going to put you a little more vulnerable to spending a lot of money, maybe some gambling, maybe some of these things that you probably want to be warned away from? Definitely also have seen shown up in the charts of people. Okay, so the next thing would be astrology for stress. And stress, as a coach, there's something that I love to really look at when it comes to carrying out a transformation, a personal transformation, or a professional project like a business or a career change or something. And that is to do the goal, to do the steps, the plan, the goal, and the dream without overwhelm, stress, burnout, anxiety, and all these things that we typically get. Now, you can get to those places, but as a coach, it's my job to help you get past those places and to also train you in ways that your physical body, your nervous system, your subconscious mind, all of these elements can work in your favor and not to stop you from doing the thing that you want to accomplish. Okay. So in terms of stress, it's interesting because we look at some of the things that show up in there are like your nervous system, and are you likely to be a little more dispersed and, shiny object syndrome? Are you more likely to be someone who is a little more stubborn and who will, maybe dig into something beyond the thing having a use or beyond its shelf life, beyond, until it just rots and you're still going there because you're so committed and you're such a, if I have participated in it, I am going to continue to participate in it. Fixed signs, okay? The fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio are very much like this. If you have strong concentration of fixed signs in your chart, you are committed and you will stay there until the end and sometimes beyond the end. And this doesn't just happen for, work or projects. This happens in relationship as well. If you're an ultra committed person, you may stay in a relationship beyond what the relationship cycle was supposed to be. And it's good to look at that as well so that you understand your personality, your challenges, your potential weaknesses, potential opportunities for growth, all the SWOT analysis, you can do it with a chart. And so these are some of the ways that I use it. And of course, the final one, which it goes right along with everything that I'm saying right now, is for your self-knowledge. I don't think that there is anything in your life that you will benefit from more than to really get to know and understand yourself so that you can honor what you need and who you are. You can self-express in an authentic way. We know now it has been measured that authenticity is the highest form of expression and it brings you to health. It allows you to shine your light. It allows you to really vibrate at a super high frequency so that you can have health and wealth and happiness and love and all those things. If you are being yourself, it is highly likely that you'll find the right career. It is highly likely that you'll find your purpose will be easy to accomplish. It is highly likely that you will be healthy, that you will find the right partner because you're not out there trying to pretend or fake or connect on a surface level. You're being you, and whoever is fascinated by that is going to connect with you. And also in business, there's a lot of times where there's misalignment in business, in the career, and all this stuff, and you just spend a lot of time and effort and energy doing something that has nothing to do with who you truly are and what you're truly vibrating with. You just did it because this is what you were supposed to do, or you were trained to do, or society says this was what it's supposed to be, or your parents, or the teachers, or somebody who made an impression on you. All of that, of course, is conditioning. We have to clear all of that. This is where the coaching comes in. We identify all that with the chart, and this is the fascinating thing about the chart. We can identify all of the information, and then the transformation gets to be done with the coaching, with the subconscious mind, with the nervous system, with the energy field, with your, who you are as a spirit having a human experience. Okay. And with a particular process that I have that I think I'm probably going to do a separate video on because somebody asked me about it in my other channel. How do you achieve your goals? The goal achievement process, or the gap, as I call it. Very particular thing, and how to handle, as you're achieving your goal, how to handle overwhelm, stress, so that you don't get into burnout, which is prolonged periods of stress. And you don't lead by anxiety or any of these things. And you really, really get to enjoy putting together the thing that you want to put together for your life, your work, your business, your relationships, your health, your body, and all of this. Okay. There you go. So the final one is astrology for self-knowledge, of course, and that again leads to understanding, uh, acceptance, honoring, embracing, and loving yourself. And isn't that what it is all about? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, this is the first. I think I'm gonna do this one as the first in the series. Maybe let me know if you want to see details of how I look at these in a particular chart and how I work through astrology and coaching with purpose and career and business and all this other stuff and investment and all these things, and maybe do some more vertical extended videos on one particular topic like parenting or purpose or business. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see that, and maybe we can make this into a series. Okay. Until then, I'll see you on the next video. Much, much, much love.